Good evening, everyone. It's a little late, I know. I'm just able to pop on just now. I will wait for some people to pop on here, and then we can go into detail about a few things, and then we can have open discussion and questions and things of that nature. I'm just getting a few things here. I'm writing them down. Miss T, hello. Sharon, hi. How are you? Jimmy, hello. Crazy Bunch, hello. Carla, Chris, Sharon, hello everybody. Celeste, my dear, how are you? Susie, how are you? Miss T, Leslie, I'm giving everybody shout outs as long as I can see their names quick enough. Dee, Brenda, Tiffany, hey, there's Miss Tiffany. It's good to see you, Tiffany. It's been a while for you. RN54, I believe that says Becky, Grammy, the Goddess, Crazy Bunch. Thank you, everybody. Teresa, giving everybody shout outs as best as I can. I appreciate everybody for popping in. Everybody's flooding in here pretty quickly. Checking in from Cincinnati. Oh boy, we got people from England. We got people from the UK, England, Australia, all over the US. I'm okay, Janaea. How are you, honey? My mom actually has pneumonia, so that was the reason why for the late live. She hasn't been feeling well. Oh, thank you, honey. Sharon, Florida, my darling. I'm going down there eventually for a visit. Missouri's here. New Jersey, yes, New Jersey Shore, yes. Yeah, she just, she hadn't been feeling well in the beginning of the week, so I took her to the doctors, and they said she has pneumonia, so I'm trying to help her take one day at a time. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to do open discussion tonight. I want to talk also about Summer Wells tonight because I feel like she was just left behind. I feel she wasn't. Hi, Lisa. I believe that says, I'm sorry if I can't see. Ren, how are you, dear? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. There's Miss Katharina. I'm trying to keep it 1 members and 1 for the public, and then I'm also doing a couple of videos this week as well. One is going to be spiritual awakening. I think everyone needs to know what that is because I think we've all had that at some point or will lead to that one day. Thank you, darling. Wisconsin, Elijah in Wisconsin was left behind also. Yeah, we have a lot of children, just random people being left behind, and this is why it's important to use these lives for that opportunity to speak about them, because everything and anything is possible through the internet. Put pictures up, say their names, where they were last seen. It all matters. This will go places that it might not be seen. And usually people can be like, okay, well, that picture looks familiar. I just seen that person. Yes, you just never know where a picture or a name can take you on the internet. That's the great part about the internet. C or SJ11. Possible someone setting up CPS. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm just trying to see a little better. CPS mom. Chris, okay. Ren. Thank you, dear. Hi, Nikki. Crazy bunch. Elijah was 3. So little. It's really sad and sickening. Yeah, when Cole comes up, Cole also came up in Summer's case too. So after so many reads, for those who know me, I work in silent, so I don't do any more sessions on my YouTube page, because when I work in silence, like I did for Savannah, like I did for Maddox, like I did for Molly, and so on and so on and so on. Hi, Spunky. Gracie. Oh, no, Oracle. Sorry. It's hard to see and hear. That's why I can't wait till vacation's over, because I'll have my space back and kids will be in bed at a normal time. Right now, I'm giving them their space to have a little bit extra time up. You know, watch some movies, have some popcorn. 93 people and only 20. What's that? Kind of people like button. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'm here to just give information. No matter who pops on here, I'm just here for our discussion. That's okay. Well, you know what? I'm hoping tonight in some way. That would be great. I thought of that before I got on. I actually asked them both if they could please come through tonight. That would be great. Sebastian, I could probably see coming through, but Summer has always been a very touch and go. She's quick. She's very, even in after, she is very quick energy. She's here 1 second, gone the next. My question, no, I'm not saying Tennessee is not doing their job, okay? My question is, what's going on in Summerwell's case that there's no leads, there's no news conferences, there's no nothing? I would like to know. Hi from Northeast Tennessee, hoping Summer is found. Tinkerbell, I think closer to you now. Hi Psychic. I am hoping, you know, when I got that in Summer Wells' case, that she's in a barrel and a passerby is going to find her. Ironically, just a simple passerby. And for me, it's like I see them taking a stick and saying, like, God, what is that? What is that? What's inside this old barrel? And that way, unfortunately, that's how it's going to be. It's very strange how I picked that up. I just don't understand why there is no leads in her case whatsoever. I mean, clearly I know the parents, they don't care. They're part of the issue. That's why I wouldn't work with them. At the same time, who's stepping up for Summer? You guys are. The public is. And this is the hard part about it. There's no answers given to you guys. And I think that's really wrong and awful. 1 second. I'm getting... Minnesota is here. Hi, darling. Kind of new sub here. First time I caught your live prank. Thank you, Dizzy, Stitches. Candy, I wonder the same thing. I feel like the police department. Oh, well, yeah, they definitely know, Candy, what there is more, and then they're letting on. It's the tricky thing is it in a good way or is it in a bad way? Are they helping the wrong side, or are they or does it just seem like that to people? But North Mississippi, hello. I'm strangely, I'm getting things tonight about the Blye family. That was what I was getting before I popped on. So I'm not sure if this is just an open discussion. What comes through, I will say what comes through. I do also do live readings, so anybody that's on my live, you already know what to do in the live readings. Go to your loved ones and speak to your loved ones. Let them know if they have a message to let me know, and I will give any messages I can. Yes. I'm from KCMO. Witchy Mama. When I pick up things about Sebastian's case, I was getting things such as, I would, like I said before, I was saying his name. I know his name is Rogers, but it also comes down to Canada. Is he from somebody from Canada, Massachusetts? Keep them coming, guys. That's great. I love to see everybody that pops on from everywhere and anywhere. I actually had somebody from Africa the last time popping on here as well. Australia. When I heard the name Don, when I had asked one of Sebastian's family guardians, who is helping out in that manner, who is helping the family cover things up, I got the name Don. And I'm like, okay, that, for me, that's, I need more than that. And then the more I looked into it, from Scotland, hello, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Missouri, Seattle, Ohio, Iowa. You keep them coming, guys. You guys are great. When I picked up Don, I assumed it was referring to Summer Wells' case, or it was like Summer Wells' case. So automatically, instead of me thinking, okay, this isn't what I'm thinking, then someone put under one of my videos that there was a sheriff named Don Roberts that was charged with aggravated harassment in the Sumner County Sheriff's Department. Now, that would make more sense to me. That could just be a detail in this case for Sebastian that could be helping them out. He clearly already has some form of charges against him. He has no self-control, clearly. Do we even know why he has that charge? I don't know. He's a sheriff who was charged with aggravated harassment. He was charged with it. So, South Carolina's here, Antonio, Texas, Iowa, Nebraska. So I gotta say, for me, Lynch. Okay, hold on one second. Becky, I need to get back to you because your name was just mentioned by a female. Try not to give me any info about the person, though, you want to hear from, because that will come in spirit. That's how I will identify them, through a message. Only you can know what you communicate with them. If it comes to me in spirit, it is your job to validate what comes through. Please, no information. New Jersey. I'm sorry, guys. Your messages are going up so fast. I'm trying to keep up. So my question is, when I asked Spirit in Sebastian's case, who is helping the Proud family cover things up, I got a Don. And I kept hearing Roberts. So for me, there has to be someone in that sheriff's department by Don that is helping out. or used to work there by the name of Don. There is a lot of drama in this case. South Carolina. BU says I finally caught alive. There's so much drama in this case, and people are they're gonna stop looking for Sebastian. It's really weird that people are just stopping, giving up. One, they're being threatened physically, which boggles my mind. Clearly there's something behind that we just don't understand, because why are you doing that? Those are the ones that don't want Sebastian found. Columbus, Ohio. Georgia here. Wonderful. Uncle Lee is CP's family. Oh, okay. And that was just one of the findings that when I give you guys information psychically, you're more than welcome to go through and, go validate that. Go look that up, because I'm not going to know what it means. I only can tell you what I hear in spirit. California's here. Massachusetts, Toronto, Canada. Now, when we spoke about Michael Vaughn, I believe we thought it was about Michael Vaughn. Now, what the issue with that is, I don't believe it was Michael Vaughn ever coming up or coming through. It was referring back to Sebastian's case. I was told in spirit, Jamie Vaughn. Now, someone put that under my video stating Jamie Vaughn headed out the reward for Sebastian, and every time someone calls, they get switched to somebody else, to somebody else, to somebody else, which is really odd to me. So I'm not sure why I'm being cued to say that name. And like I said, look into that, guys. That means something. When spirit mentions something to me, it means it has a relevance to it. From Pennsylvania. There's not a lot of LE presence out. And that's the boggling for me. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the house. Brenda, thank you, my darling. Janet, New Jersey here. What do you think about this guy that says he's got a video of them, KP meeting up with, giving her Sebastian? I have to read that again because I'm not sure. What do you think about the guy that says he got video of them, of Chris Proudfoot meeting up with CB? I don't know who CB is, giving her Sebastian. I'm not sure who that is, dear, so I keep on that, unfortunately. I only know minimal things, one from spirit and two what we read about on here. If I look up things, for me, I don't want to get, like I said, jump down in rabbit holes. Today, I was told CP's family has a lot of private plane. Yep, they do. They do. Oh, okay, honey. Thank you for that. Tiffany, are you having a dream that Pennsylvania. There's so much drama in this case, and there's so many people at each other's throats. Everyone's supposed to be looking for Sebastian, because if that's what I believe, if you're going to put videos up about Sebastian, do the kind thing and help find Sebastian. Don't just make videos to make videos. I've signed the petition. I've donated. I've done, put change.org, people. If you haven't seen it on my community tab, change.org, go sign that petition to get Sebastian, for the FBI to come in to help with Sebastian's case. Anything and anything will help the case with that petition signed. Can you imagine what could be done with that petition for the FBI? Could you imagine what would go down? Indiana, Tusk, Arizona. Thank you, my darlings. She never showed up for Sebastian's vigil tonight again. Oh, there was a vigil tonight. Okay. His mom was there the morning he was reported missing. Oh. Now, the one thing I think that I didn't understand was, maybe that's what that meant. I did see a black vehicle of some sort. It looked to be parked, obviously, like on the side of the road. For me, I just assumed when you remote view and you look in a vision, you want to see all around you. I was seeing random houses, and this vehicle looked like it was just parked on the side of the road. To me, I assumed it was for the mother, oddly. That's what I picked up on. KP won't show up, Sebastian. Oh, you know, like, the problem is she can't face people. She can't face people. From Georgia. She can't face people, and that's all there is to it. But KP and Crispy didn't have the time to stay at the vigil. Another vigil. He had 2 weeks. I just got done watching the second vigil of Sebastian's. Do I feel that he handed Sebastian over to the family? We don't know what these people are capable of. Clearly, it's not being taken seriously. This is clearly needs to be listed as a criminal investigation. The FBI clearly needs to step in, start handing out polygraphs to every single person in that family. Anything and everything needs to be tested in forensics. The vehicles, the plane, you name it, and anything. I also got boat as well. I mean, I'm assuming if these people own a plane, they own a boat. So I also feel Sebastian was moved from the place they originally put him at to the place where he is now. Well, thank you. I do believe, like I said, he was moved. The word crane. Now, crane, we all know what a crane is. That's a piece of equipment we move big things with. Now, okay. I was going to move to Summer Wells' aunt, but a female is referencing Sebastian. Kathy is Chris's mom. Okay. Chris, profession, crane operator. Okay. Now, also, someone asked me, is Mississippi a state to where he can't be extradited? Excuse me. No, all states you can be extradited from within the United States. They do not extradite you if it's a misdemeanor, such as Alaska, Hawaii, or Florida. I did look that up because I needed to know the proper answer to answer that, because I don't need to ask Spirit that. That's something legally you should know. FBI is involved now because of the man saying he had Sebastian. So when people are getting close to something, they need to throw something in there. They need to make sure that all eyes are now on whatever else that it should be from. So by saying that, everyone turned and looked, oh my God, someone has Sebastian. But you all know in your hearts that that boy is not and was not kidnapped. When I heard that, someone said that, I was like, nope, I don't even want to hear about it, because I tell you why. He was not kidnapped. It's going to be a hoax. And sure enough, I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, I wonder, Dana Lynn, if that's why I kept hearing gray, because the word gray, 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 gray keeps coming through. Definitely 100% a distraction. Why did they, someone sent threatening messages to the Cajun Navy? It had to have been serious enough for them to stop searching. So that should tell you that Sebastian is out there somewhere, and they don't want him found because they know the outcome of what it would be. No, he did not run away, and I don't believe that. No, I do believe he was led away. The drama in this case, okay, what do you mean by that? Who's speculating? So my sister and I were talking about something yesterday, and Spirit is telling me, we were actually talking about how we talk about the case and the word speculate or allegedly. And Spirit was just telling me, no, don't say speculate, say allegedly. And it's more of like being sarcastic toward the Proudfoot family, because everyone's speculating. No, people are stating alleged facts, because why? A child just doesn't walk out of the house and there's no trace of him. There's no dogs. Why are you leading a search with a sheriff when you could be a suspect? This is why you and the police are believed to work together, Chris Proudfoot. Yes, and Narc Diver, I now, or no, because of that. Well, I'll tell you what, I am not easily threatened. I will not stop working on Sebastian's case, whether it's on here, whether it's in private, which you all know after a certain point, I work privately. This way, suspects don't know what I'm doing. I don't care who and how they pop on my live. I made it clear, if you want to pop on my live, play that game with me. And for them to just not, for rent, you know, get forensics in that house, get those vehicles, anything and anything they all own. Do tell me, when have you ever heard of something like that? Can you guys give me an answer on that? Have you ever heard such nonsense to where he walked out the house? There's no proof that he walked out the house. That's hearsay until what? We're speculating here, right? I mean, who carries on with their life after their child supposedly is missing? You left, you went to where? I think, I can't remember the place it's called. You're, from what someone says under here, you're shopping for motorcycles, you're going to Crack a Barrel. It's really twisted how you could just be okay with that. Summer Wells, you know, it's even worse for her because she has no one to fight for her. Nobody. Her poor aunt is gone. Her poor aunt has passed on. I will get to that in a minute, because I did say I would eventually get to what I wanted to say about Rose Blye, and what she had spoke to me about in Spirit Session. Okay, honey. I did get the name Lynch. I do believe there is somebody by that name on here. So, if I do get something else about that, I will state what comes through for that name. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can say you're so heartbroken and you're so torn, and yet you're going about your normal life. I know at a point you have to find a balance. You have to find normalcy and still look for your child, and that's a hard thing to do. You can't balance your life and try to look for a missing child. But that's the thing. They aren't looking. They're not looking at all. And that's what I mean by nobody finds this fishy. Why isn't the sheriff's department going in harder at them? It just doesn't. Why not take the Nancy Grace polygraph test? But she took a TBI test. Supposedly. Allegedly. My thing is, you wouldn't take the Nancy Grace one because you knew you'd fail it. But you take the TBI one allegedly because you have people in there that would hook you up with a test that would prove you passed. I don't believe it. Military knows how to lie, and when they go over enemy lines, they are taught, if they are interrogated, they are taught how to learn how to pass a poly. No, nobody should have balance. You're right. But trying to, and I'm not defending them whatsoever. You all know that. When a child is missing, so you can stay in the right state of mind, you have to say, okay, today I'm going to find my son. And at the same time, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do those dishes. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to do those dishes. I'm going to, if there's any other children in the house, I got to try to be a mom to them too and do this too. And your brain, it has to be 50 other places. If that's going on, if there's a child missing, you have to have help physically. You can't emotionally take it on. I can ask that about Chris possibly talking to another woman, but for me, he's a womanizer anyway. I mean, what answer would I get? But not to look for him, plus move away. Exactly, you're 100% right. No, 100% right. Balance is not moving. And when I say balance, I don't mean go move away and go do this. No, balance by I would be so broken inside. I probably would stop showering. I'd probably give up on my body. I would stop brushing my teeth, brushing my hair. I need to find my baby, and that's all that matters to me. Not my body, not my hair, not my appetite, not my sleep, nothing. My child. And that's where I would fall and lose myself, because that's what I mean by balance. Try to take care of yourself at the same time getting up out of bed. Okay, we're going to try to do something new today, different, and get more answers and see what we can do with that. That's the balance I mean. This TBI, police are helpful. I'm not going to say police aren't helpful. I've helped several detectives look for people. There are police that are super amazing. I love police. I think they're a great aspect to have in cases, but for some reason, Sumner County, from what I'm told, and not just physically but spiritually, not a good batch. She's definitely have failed her son. And this is not my typical live where I bash the parents, because if you go back to any of my lives, people, this is not my style. But because Sebastian is the way he is, you failed him, you purposely let him down, you purposely hurt him, you purposely made him disappear. Now all the gloves are off, and I really don't care. And like I said, I'm not one of your ex-wives, I'm not one of your stepchildren. You can't threaten me. You could do whatever you need to do, but I tell you what, you don't scare me, because where you come from, you might be the big dog, but where I come from, you cross into my state lines and you will find yourself in a whole lot of issues. I don't know how people can go on and not know where their child is and just go shopping for motorcycles. I would just be completely and utterly devastated. I'm trying not to be vindictive or vengeful, but I know something's wrong here, and I can feel it in my soul. Something's wrong here, and their idiotic behavior and their idiotic ways of, well, we are popping on everybody's lives because we want to make sure no one's spreading misinformation. Put the effort into finding that boy. I'm medium, and I can tell you, I have never been this stumped next to Summer, and just how Summer's parents, well, we don't know what happened. I walked to my mom's trailer and now she's gone. And that's the whole story to that. And there's nothing that nobody's done about it. That poor girl hasn't had nobody to fight for her. Nobody. Sebastian has people. Just like Summer has us, Sebastian has us. We just have to keep what we're doing, and that's all I can say. I mean, I've worked with energies up to 2 years, and the things that I've gotten from them, and the things that I've gotten from them only adds up and adds up and adds up, and it just keeps making sense and keeps opening new doors. I want everybody and anybody that hears this to look up the Von name that headed out Sebastian's reward money. For some reason, this keeps coming into play, and I have no idea what this means and why it's being spoke of. Everybody should be pissed off, excuse my language. Everybody should be angry about this. 2 children, Tennessee, not a damn thing is being done. What's going on here? If the feds aren't going to come in, then this is going to be a problem. The public is not going to take this lightly, and that's the scary part about this, because there are people that are so pissed off about this that who knows what they'll do. I have no idea. I wouldn't want to imagine that. But these parents, I don't know. I feel for Seth. I can't. I feel for Seth and their family. That's it. Everyone is pissed. You got that right. I'd hate to say it, but some people have, from what they say, people have rode past them saying derogatory things, things of that nature. Yeah, it's all strange. Every last bit of it. I did promise eventually that I would speak about Rose Blye here. Now, if I get cut off again by spirit for Sebastian, I'll just go back to Sebastian, because if they say something, I have to repeat it, or I have to be careful what I say, like location and things like that. I'm just not going to mention anything about Sebastian on here, because I do know that they're watching. I just know I haven't heard their name being said to me yet, so it could be they just haven't popped on yet, or they are watching and they're just not going to comment. Ellie didn't do much to Riley Strand's case. I'm not aware, Becky, of who that is. I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure. Oh, I guarantee you this wasn't an accident. This was not, oh, he walked out the house. This was premeditated murder. Allegedly. What are they there for? What are they there for? I understand Tennessee is a big place with a lot of area to cover. You know, a lot of dangerous things can happen during a search. I understand that, and I feel for that. But okay, there's a male here that keeps talking about Sumner County. What do you mean by this? You keep mentioning this to me. Reference more to that to me. Give me more of what you're saying. I have an energy here talking about Sumner County Sheriff's Department, so to speak, and they're showing me a specific person. I don't know who this person is, but they're showing me a shotgun. The name Ralph is being mentioned. With such a big live on here, with such a big live in here, I don't know if energies are starting to come through for you guys. Whoever called and spoke to your loved ones to come over. Just so you know, I hear Ralph, but Ralph could also go to Sumner County. So I don't know who Ralph is just yet. So just to be on the safe side. I think they need to illuminate the whole damn house. The trunks of the vehicles, any vans, any camper. My question is, why do you got to have a camper? Why are you staying in your house? You're well known with the sheriff. Why can't they sit in front of your house for you if you're that afraid? I really find this to be ironic. He spoke about Sebastian not having boundaries. I understand what he's saying, and I'm not saying he was wrong about that or I'm not trying to be rude. Autistic children don't have certain boundaries. Exactly. Why hasn't this even been done? Why? Because they needed time to clean up, get everything out of there, do what they have to do. Why did the dogs get a scent at the house? Sebastian's scent should have been in that house. The dogs would have got a hit in the house. The lights should have went off there. And that just shows me right from the get-go, this was something, right from the get-go, period. Seth having a life insurance policy on his son has nothing to do with it. Do you know how many people have a Gerber life insurance policy on their children? Numerous people. If he was really supposed to go live with his dad, like it spoke of, I do believe it would have been blown out of the water what was really going on in that house. And I'm being told extradite. So I'm wondering if, right, that doesn't mean you killed your child. Most people I know have life insurance policies. I have one on my mom. So, I mean, it's not, well, my sister has one on my mom. But at the same time, that doesn't mean anything. Rose near horses. I don't know. Gerber isn't very much fun. No, I don't even know if that's what that is, but I know a lot of people carry that specific life insurance. My pen died, but that's okay. You guys can keep me posted on anything that's going to be said here. I can remember, just go back. I like to always write everything down because sometimes I'll hear something in spirit and I don't say it here for reasons, but that's okay. I'll try to do my best and remember here. Hello, my darling. I'm being told Seth Rogers. Now, whenever I hear Seth being mentioned, it's always a woman that mentions his name. Always. Someone said Terry Bowersack works in Alaska. I know that Chris Proudfoot despised that child. Utterly despised that child. She, on the other hand, just felt so burdened by him. The coldness that it just emanates from her. It's really strange. It's really strange. So I would like to get back to Rose Blye, because I did promise something that we spoke about in spirit. So when I was doing Summer Wells' case, people said, well, why won't I say what happened to Rose Blye? For me, it wasn't that I didn't want to say. I was working with Summer at the time, and I wanted to be on the same page as her. She never once told me to repeat what happened, and I didn't want to make... I didn't want her in any way to feel that if she wasn't ready to speak about it, I didn't want to push her. Summer's aunt, Rose Blye, she was asked for money by someone she knows very well. And I will just say, a close relative on very bad drugs. She said, no, I'm not giving you money. They decided to hurt her, take her life. She spoke about being under some sort of concrete, almost like a driveway. I told her that I would help her once we were done with Summer. Here we are now, and Summer's not here yet. Summer's not found. Sometimes I'm at a pass how to help her. Can I ask a question? Did Rose's husband and Don Wells ever communicate? She never implicated that to me specifically. She stepped right in to help Summer. It was like an immediate, when I couldn't get what I needed from Summer, she immediately stepped in for Summer. Is Summer laying by a path anywhere? So here's the problem with that. Summer and her aunt have one person in common. And who's that? You can all speculate to that, of what I'm saying here. Colleen 2269. Rumor is she's under Mom's old driveway. To me, it just looked like a driveway. So, it just looked like where somebody pulls in and pulls out. It's very strange. We know, just so. You know, Oracle, no, honey, I never got once of anything of that nature. Is Summer. I assumed so at first, is Summer with Rose, but Rose is like, it stepped in, she swooped in. Summer is in some sort of stuck reality in her thoughts, to where she's just playing. And when children get stuck in that type of, I like to say realm, because there's no time over there. There's no, if they don't want to cross over, they won't cross over. Even if someone tries to come for them, if they're not ready, they won't go. Her earthly tie here is a very, I want to explore. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. She's a very, I don't want to say wild soul. She's a very, despite everything, that little girl just loved. She just loved everything in general. It's a strange thing. Most people think we cross right over, and it doesn't work like that. My dad didn't cross over well over 5 years after he passed. Thank you. Morning. morning from the UK. She is such a pretty, beautiful little girl. At first, you know, I thought, okay, maybe it's just not them not caring. It's just they don't want her to be found. What if she's with someone that kidnapped her and is loving her and taking care of her? That was my speculation. I always have a different speculation from what spirit tells me. I always have to go by what I want. Okay, logically, let me think about this. To me, I assumed, okay, that someone in the church kidnapped her and they saw how she was living and they wanted her to have a better life. Then I realized that wasn't the case. The brother of Grandis. Well, last time I checked, they said he was one of the most dangerous predators. I'm not sure. I assume so, that they left Ben Hill Road. Someone did mention under that one of those videos that the numbers I was describing, the Ben Hill Road, the Rogers, whatever I was describing, there's an actual place on there that describes it, and it went up for sale very short after I put my video up, which was very strange to me. Summer went missing on the same day. 1 year later, your mom passed. You know, as sad as it is, Summer, the torment she went through and the pain she had went through, when I see her in a vision, she's laughing, she's smiling, and she always tells me, come on, let's go play. And that's it. That's all she gives me. Or she'll give me these little denotes of a second here, a second there. And I think that's why Rose came into me, and she was speaking of, thank you, dear. Canada. Oh, thank you, honey. Quick question. Absolutely, go ahead. That's why Rose stepped in with me, and she decided to help me. Oh, I got a pen. Great, I found a pen. I always have an extra pen. No, this is open discussion. If you guys have questions, ask questions. That's what I'm here for. This is what we were supposed to do. So don't be afraid to ask questions. That's why I'm on here. I will try to get to every question you guys do ask. It just takes energy and time. Remember that. Hi, Chris. I know you're on here. Pink Butterfly, I've already done her case. I still work on it little by little by little. She's very hard to get a grasp on, as she was in energy in life and high energy, and always she's the same exact way. So that's why I just go right with Rose Blye and work with her. It's hard to get a grasp on her. Did you speak to? No, I have not spoke to narc divers, honey. I try not to reach out to people. I don't want to look like some psychotic, I don't want to look like some psychotic psychic medium. We as mediums shouldn't do that. If they reach out to us, that's okay. And if they do, and they say, hey, keep this quiet, I never speak. When I work on cases, after I go silent and I don't make any videos and I'm working on the case, anybody that knows me, I could have known you 10 years, and you ask me about the case I'm working on. After a certain point, I give absolutely no information out whatsoever, and it doesn't matter who you are. I've worked in cases with family members that anybody in their outside of their circle, I give nothing. I will not give anything to. Just in general, and in general. someone posted above they made a video asking for you tips, I think. Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I didn't see that, honey. I apologize. You guys' messages are going up so fast. Crazy bunch. We are on, Summer. I did ask Summer and Sebastian to please step forward tonight. Any guardians that can help Summer, any guardians that can help Sebastian, please do. We are all listening. You can tell us whatever you need to tell us. We need anything and all that matters in their cases. There are plenty of search parties on here. There are plenty of people that are wanting to find them as much as we do and I do. Please do know anything, any energies that are not of the light, I do not communicate with whatsoever. Okay? I always make that stipulation. Why do I make that stipulation? Well, there are energies. Okay, so perfect example. You have a serial killer in life. They were horrific people in life. What do you think they are after they pass on? Those type of people in spirit don't get to cross over to the other side. They are bound here until they've actually learned a lesson. They've actually done something to cross over. That's okay. My job isn't for you to believe in me. My job is to give healing, loving messages and help find missing people. I never get mad at anybody that says they don't believe in me. I've had people in Savannah's case reach out to me. Mostly males, I think, are fearful of me. They assume that mediums are fake. And I had so many male people reach out to me, and they were, I'm skeptical on everything they told me. But when I did Savannah Spurlock's case, they were like, there was something in you that showed me that there are possibilities in things on the other side. And that's okay. Why do spirits take time to cross over? I believe, hold on, let me get to this one question for Julie, okay, about Sebastian. When you have such a narcissistic, rageful person living with a child who needs constant care, constant attention, constant love, my Caleb, first of all, autistic children, my son's doctor told me one time, because Caleb, I was worried, was he going to end up being overweight? Because Caleb, it's like he doesn't have a shutoff valve. It's like autistic children have a hard time either they want to eat, or they don't want to eat at all. There's two extremes. It's either under eating or overeating. And I do believe that's what Sebastian was going through. He just never felt full. But if you're also told you can't have those things constantly, what child doesn't want them? They want what they can't have. And for me, I feel Sebastian was punished for sneaking snacks because he actually told me about Chris was mad for him taking snacks. Spirit communication is most likely jinn communication. Great. Have a nice day. Get off my live. Oh, I believe Summer will cross over. I don't think she understands how to. I think Rose has tried to get her to cross over. But I do believe children that are of a certain way, in some way, they go to this form of reality, and they want to be stuck in the view of what they saw in life. I want to play, but I want to play. That was her breaking away from the abuse. So that's probably where she's stuck at. She wants to constantly play. Teenagers are always eating. That is 100% right. 100% right. And he actually told me that Chris was mad that he was sneaking snacks. I wanted snacks. He was so mad at me. Yeah. So Caleb is either an extreme. He overeats, or he, if he doesn't like something I cook, he's just like, Mama, I'm full. I'm full, Mama. I said, are you still hungry? If you're still hungry, just take a few more bites for me. Try something that, try some of that, try some of this. If he does eat too much, and he wants something else later on, like I spoke, we have a food chart. As the we put the unhealthy food in a whoa kind of like side, and the healthy food in a good side. Caleb, is that a whoa food? Is it going to make you sick? It's going to give you a stomach ache in the middle of the night? Or is it a good food? So to take it to that extreme, to where he had to sneak food, that was really sick. And he's a growing boy. He's just hitting puberty. His body is extremely hungry. When boys go through puberty, they go through this hunger phase that sometimes it's just not controllable. They want to eat all the time. And to me, he looked too skinny. For a male child, he looked too skinny. What adult, like, perfect example, what adult doesn't like snacking at night? You're telling me they didn't snack at night? The Proudfoot family, they didn't snack at night? I mean, come on. I do believe that the diaper thing, where he wore pull-ups, I believe. I call them diapers. It's the same idea to me. I believe that was done out of, they just didn't want to deal with accidents. And they didn't want their picture perfect house to be whatsoever tainted by him. And the establishment of saying, oh, he went right to bed. No, he didn't. Autistic children don't go right to bed. Caleb and I have a routine, and it takes a while for him to go through his routine. It's not just go to bed, brush your teeth, wash up. It's, I got a question, Mama. I got to ask you something. I got to talk to you about something. They don't stop until their brain starts to shut down for them. Yeah, it could be just because he was skinny. But for me, I feel when I hear in spirit that they were mad because he was sneaking snacks, that told me that they controlled what he ate. That's okay, Grace. Caleb, when he's hungry, Mama, I'm hungry. If you're hungry, sweetheart, that's okay. We're gonna cook dinner. Try to hold off so you don't ruin your appetite. Or if I'm not cooking, go ahead, honey, have something to eat. That's how we do it in our house. Everybody's different. But to be angry over food, that shows a dominance of, you're going to do what I say, you're going to eat when I tell you, you're going to sleep when I tell you. My son, like I said, he needs help in the bathroom. He can try to clean himself up in the bathroom, like he does, but he also needs someone to go behind him and honestly to just double check to make sure if he did things right. I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not ashamed to be on here with any of you and tell you that. That's my son. That's my heart. That's my life. I will do that for him until the day I'm not able to. I have no shame in saying what I have to do. And he doesn't wear pull-ups. I would never put him in a pull-up. To me, that is degrading him. I do believe my son has a form of ADHD. Also OCD. Yes, I do believe that when a child hits puberty, they need extra nutrition because their hormone level is rising and they burn off calories faster. Thank you, Sidekick. Alicia, Australia, maybe being in the Navy and carry these rules. Understandable. I understand when you're raised in a military family or you're raised in an abusive home, that goes with you later on in life. But I tell you what, I'm not ashamed to say it. I didn't have much growing up as a kid. But you know what? It didn't stop me from giving everything to my children, giving my all to my children. It didn't stop me. I was never hugged. I was never kissed. My mother could never hug and kiss us as children because she is like me. She feels pain. She has the gift, even when I tell you on levels of power, it's insane. So she will never hug people or kiss people. I don't hug people or kiss people either. Only people that are in my direct circle, my children, my husband, my sisters, my brothers. You should know, you should never use food as a weapon, a tool. It's degrading, it's overbearing, it's overpowering. It's quite disgusting if you ask me. Okay, I want to get into some questions here because I feel like I'm more disgusted, and it shows in my language by the way that boy was treated in summer. Oh, I know he definitely hated that boy. I could hear it in his tone of voice. When I listened to the interview, I closed my eyes and I listened to him. And then I realized the things that he did, not that he just tormented him, that he had to have, I would like to know if I could find this out. For me, it's like he would have had some sort of anxiety where he was chewing the sides of his cheeks out of anxiety and nerve. Some people bite their nails, some people chew the sides of their cheeks or bite their lips. Or to me, he would have marks inside of his mouth from my Caleb when he was in school. He's homeschooled now because he has severe anxiety. The noise is too much for him. He would come home and he would have holes in his lips from chewing his lips. And I said, okay, we're done here. He can't handle this. I'm not gonna. So now I homeschool him, and he's learned more with me than he ever has in school. Well, let's talk about that, Kim. For most people, yes. I'm not saying that they're not disabled in the afterlife, because most of them are not disabled. Everything goes away after that. So when a psychic medium picks up an energy, what we pick up is their earthly ties here, and we see them in the way they were here. But we also see them in this. So when I see Summer, I don't see her in pain. I don't see any marks on her. I don't see any blood around her. I see her smiling and happy. When I saw Sebastian in vision, I saw his beautiful face, his beautiful smile. I didn't see any markings on him. So they also have a choice to show you when they show you what they went through, they want you to see the aspects of what they went through. So you're going to see the things about them that happened. When they're not showing you in that aspect, you're going to see them in a normal capacity. You're going to see them the way they looked in life, happy, loving. So that's the reference I try to make about that. I did one time, Tammy Penter, I did see him without glasses one time. So when I seen him on the ground looking up, I didn't see him with glasses on. I also didn't see him with shoes on. You notice that they are always in the camper wondering what they are talking about. Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna keep working Sebastian's case. I'm just gonna do it in quiet. And the more detail I get, I am going to, here's Sumner again, Sumner County. The more information that comes through, I'm just going to keep on going through it and going through it and going through it. Is he buried or above ground? So I was shown almost like he's buried. Now, is he buried now? Or was he buried before? Because I got he was moved. Do I think there's going to be justice? So when I saw Katie Proudfoot being let out in handcuffs, there's a reason why you're not seeing her in the public eye. There's a reason why she is very distant from Seth. Everything and everything is in the eye of the beholder. Your eyes can never, ever lie. They can never lie. All you have to do is look someone in the eye, and the whole truth is in the eyes. If you've ever noticed, she can't look directly in faces of interviewers. She's constantly looking down. She's looking away from them to their side. And then when it's time to answer the question of, what happened that night? What do you recall your day? And automatically, Chris turns over and looks at her. It's the same exact thing. Now, what do you mean by this? Can you tell me what you mean by that in reference to what you're trying to tell me about them? Because I feel like that would have to be an important thing for you to keep referencing to me. Right, what about them? Okay, again, I need you to tell me what you mean by that. Okay. I know you did tell me this before. Can you reference what? Now, okay, when you say link, who's the link? Okay, but who is he linked with in the sheriff's department? Okay, I remember you saying that. That's a big question there. Oh, okay. That's new. So I'm being told Sumner County Sheriff Chris, and then I was just shown this in a vision. Link. Again, Sumner. Chris. Don. Chris. Then the name Ralph comes from spirit. So Ralph has to do with Sebastian's case as well. So whoever Ralph is, there, you guys have to be able to look this up if there's a Ralph in the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Is Sebastian Rogers going to be found? Will any of the items of Sebastian's be found? Where did they move Sebastian? So when I just asked the question, will Sebastian be found, I got like a mixed answer. Then I also asked, where was Sebastian moved? Because I know he was moved. They just showed me it would look like a construction site. It's not a crane. It's the machine that has what dump trucks have on them. They have that thing on there that picks up dirt and moves it and dumps it. So to me, are you saying he's buried under concrete of some sort? Talk about wall again. Chris. Barry. Mom. Who helped Chris hide the body? This again. I'm being okay, so I can hear what sounds to be a car. I hear like you drive over gravel and you hear that, and then I hear like almost the brakes when the brakes stop, and there's that red vehicle again. Trunk popping. So, Sumner. So, popping the trunk. Unfortunately, I see what looks to be a body in the trunk, and there is something red on the, whatever he's covered with. There's actually a cloth that has some sort of blood on it. I don't know if it's like a blanket or a towel or something. I see jeans and boots. To me, when I was shown the picture of Chris Proudfoot standing over Seth at the vigil, he had on jeans and boots. To me, that's what it would look like, but these boots are more dirty. These boots are more worked into, so to speak. Now, where did that car take Sebastian? I'm hearing the car again. Can you tell me where that is? Where did that car stop with Sebastian? Okay, I have a question for you guys, because like I said, I don't go, Sumner County Sheriffs, that's their name, or is that like an actual county? I know that's a foolish question to ask, but I'm asking because I'm being repeated back. Sumner. Love in Scorpio says Ralph Hobson, LE in Memphis. The color was red, Alicia. The boots are very worked into, like dirty, like a hard-working man would work. That's all I can describe it as. They're boots that they're really worked into. They've been worn all the time. Blue Rose, absolutely. That's what I was getting at earlier. He talked about Sebastian not having any boundaries. And most of them, they really don't, because they can't help it. To me, standing over Seth like that, you showed you have no boundaries, Chris Proudfoot. I'm not sure if that's what that is, dear, about steel-toed work. I don't see, but then again, my son has Carolina boots, and those are some pretty thick boots. I'm thinking either Katie blows over on him, because I see her being let out in handcuffs. Chris Proudfoot, I didn't see arrested, but that's subject. Psychic visions are subject to change. So seeing that, I do believe she's on her way in to answer some questions. She's arrested. That's going to all switch over. That's all going to change. Thank you, Blue Sky. Sumner County. Sumner County, northern central border of Tennessee. Sumner County, Henderson, Tennessee. Well, that's the point I'm getting at, Tammy. When I asked that question specifically, I heard, again, Sumner. So think about it. How many times did I hear that tonight? I've heard it about 7 times alone. Ralph Hobson has a link in police officer investigator. Okay. I don't know when that will happen. I had just been sitting in my recliner trying to relax a bit before I went to bed, and it was like clear as day came through. I seen her being walked out, and I can actually tell you what angle I seen her walking out. So seeing her, it would look like she was being walked out the front door of a home. Um, the officer was to her left side. Um, I'm not sure what that even entails at the moment, how long that could be. I don't know. Right. I know it's also because that's how I'm aware of it. That's why I'm like, maybe I'm mixing it up. Maybe I'm being told Sumner County because that's the spot. Seth had him the weekend before he was missing. Well, he did speak about water though. Um, I don't believe he is in water though. Um, because when I seen him on the ground, I see woods. I see woods around him. Um, but I also see him um, in a surprised look, like a surprised, awoken look. Um, that pill just keeps coming back up and coming back up. He kept talking about not wanting to take his medicine. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take it. I'm not sure at that moment. Maybe they tried to force it on him at the moment he didn't want to take it. And as you can see, I said they, but in that last live I did, Sebastian also spoke of they made me take my pill. I didn't want to take it. Which when he said they, that gave me the assumption of what? Okay. And that's the awful part. There's so much, as this person said, there's so much water and woods all over the state of Tennessee. That's why I want to get more of a direct link to a specific area, a specific street, a specific route, something like that. I think so. My Caleb has to take melatonin. He has a severe issue with sleeping. If he does not take them, he was like, "Mommy, I didn't sleep last night," and he will come wake me up to tell me that. And if I can assume he's sleeping after I kiss him goodnight, it's only because he might have fell asleep for an hour and woke right back up. But even when I give my son his melatonin, but I don't want to take them yet, Mom. I said, but it's okay. You can just take your medicine and watch TV for a while and see how, if you feel tired enough, just shut your TV off and go to bed. It's okay. I'll come check on you if you need me. That's it. And usually that works out best for him. I do try to let him have it a little later in the night. That way he doesn't feel like I'm forcing him. CP talks as if he was there. That exactly. There's been numerous statements that they, if I'm recalling it right, in the first interview I saw, they spoke of we. How where is there a we when you were at work, right? Did Sebastian leave the house in KP's vehicle? When that live happened, I had asked how he was taken out of the house. He did speak of a car and a van specifically. Vans don't have trunks, so that told me. When he also explained something to me, he almost explained something like that part he had to show me because I don't think he understood how to tell me that specifically. He showed me almost like he was moved, and then that was his final space he was moved to, the last vehicle. This is a trigger for anyone, sorry, but in the thud I spoke to. That is bullcrap. There was no thud. You believe the red vehicle is CP's mom. Oh, sorry, it went up too fast. How did he die? In the vision that I saw, it was like he was talking about he didn't want to take his medicine, and it was like they were forcing it on him. And he kept talking about tight, choke. And I assumed that maybe he meant he choked on his pill. And then I realized, no, he was talking about this, almost like this. And they must either assume that he passed out and that's how he got carried out, or they let him out in a way that no matter what anybody says about not picking up a scent, no matter what, there had to have been a scent in that house for the dogs to come. There's no way. You would have, his clothes are there, his bed is there, his everything is there of his. The scent is there. For them to say they didn't pick up a scent, I knew there was there was no thud. He never once spoke about a thud. I do believe Sebastian bit him there. Think about it. In the area, he gets somebody in a chokehold, and they're trying to get away or they're terrified. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to bite you in the arm to get free. And I want you to pay attention to where the bite marks are. You got Chris Proudfoot's height, and then you have Sebastian's height. How tall is Chris Proudfoot? There had to be a scent. There had to be a scent. Unless, but okay, logistically, think about this. One, there had to be a scent. He lived there. His stuff was there. What kind of clothes did they give for the scent? So either they're lying, or they just didn't bother with the dogs and they cleaned the house out. So there was no scent. Whose blood on the towel? I don't know. We'll just get you out of here. Bye-bye. As you can see, we already have morons popping on. And I'll just keep on doing what I did last time. Oh boy, these are moving fast. Did Ellie confirm that the dogs were brought in? Did Ellie confirm? Yes, there was dogs brought in. Well, why hasn't he given Seth permission to use cadaver dogs yet? Don't you think if that's what really he wanted to do, don't you think that's what have already been? Absolutely, that shouldn't even be a question for you to ask me. I'm his stepfather. That is your son. Please bring whatever you got to bring. I will help you in any aspect of the matter. That should be the immediate answer. But yet, why isn't it? I want to get into some questions here for Spirit because I feel like it matters. Back to Don. Oh. Sorry, guys. When it happens this way, I don't know. I don't know just yet what this is referring to, though. I'm hearing Don Wells. What are we mentioning Don Wells for? Okay. This is what bothers me about this case. I heard Don Wells, then I heard Chris loud and clear. When I had saw that vision with the waist and him taking off his belt, it was very sadistic and perverted, and whoever the person was, they were looking down from a lower advantage point, disadvantage point. And to me, that was a child, a younger person. And to me, Don number one is a known pedophile, is a known sexual. He's sexually assaulted people. Um, I got that vibe for Chris Proudfoot as well. So that's another. That is another. That's there. That's the key factor here. I think that's probably would have. If Sebastian told his dad that, can you imagine what he would have? Can you imagine what would have happened? When when I saw that surprised look on Sebastian's face, it was like Chris Proudfoot was just as surprised because he wasn't expecting him to wake back up, or he wasn't assuming he was going to wake up so quickly, and his eyes just went from to huge, and that's when Sebastian keeps talking about something round, because I tried to say, okay, maybe it's not a rock, but I assume it's a rock by the way he's holding it, and Chris Proudfoot's on the ground. Um, to me, it looked like he was wearing like a white top of some sort, Chris Proudfoot. I don't know if it was a button up or if it was like a old T-shirt, but he saw what I would think is Sebastian, and his eyes got all big and freaked out, and he hit him in the head. So either that was to knock him out again or to physically completely unalive him. Was Chris the meth head that did the interview that worked with Don? I'm not sure, because I didn't see any interviews with that. Chris Wall. It looked like, honestly, it looked like a, just didn't, an off-white. It could have been maybe like a gray. I usually see in color in my visions, or I see just black and white. Liam, I do believe Summer will be found, but in some strange apparent way, a passerby is going to come and they're just going to be walking. I see her by like train tracks, and I'm going to say this. I see train tracks, but there's also water to, if I'm looking at the train tracks this way, the water is on the right, and it's not like a lake. To me, this would be like a creek that overflows near the train tracks, and to me, it's like I would see her in a barrel that was just pushed over some side of a hill, and you'd have to go down by them train tracks and be walking in that area, and just by random, someone's gonna find it. I honestly think it's not going to be for a while. It's going to be this old wooden barrel, and someone's going to be hitting it with a stick, and it's going to break open because it's so old and dirty, and it's just going to break, and things are going to come out of it. Summer will be found by accident, yeah, by a passerby. Summer's not in a box; she's in a barrel. To me, it's like an old whiskey barrel, to be exact. It's like those old, you ever see a movie show, a TV show where you see the old whiskey barrels on the pirate ships? That's the most that I can explain to you. I know that sounds stupid, but it's got the sides like this, and it's got the things that go around the barrels. Pam, I am hoping so. Because for me, the only thing that I've gotten so far is the mother is being led in handcuffs out the door. I have donated to, I have donated money. I mean, not to the Proudfoot family, no. Did Jody Sue hear Summer Wells scream? That is a good question. Did Jody Sue actually hear Summer Wells scream? Was that Summer Wells scream that day? I'm being told no. I do believe in the trunk they had him over something over him, and it had it had blood on it. Yes, and I really don't like to describe this on here because people are going to see this and it's going to be really awful to hear. So this is a trigger warning video. I should have said that in the beginning. I do apologize. Okay, so Leanne Dotson. Sorry if that sounded wrong, but the YouTube creators seem to all have info to effect that he was self-admittedly binging on meth and is amazing the amount of crimes against children. The thing about the children going missing in Tennessee, there is a sex trafficking ring there. And it is so in the open that if you're not paying attention just by, if you weren't just looking to look, you wouldn't even know it's happening. You have no idea what's underneath it all. It's so active there. I know Jody Sue was Summer's neighbor. I did remember seeing this interview with this woman, and she said she felt bad or something, that she thought it maybe the scream she heard was Summer. But me just asking, I'm giving you what Spirit tells me, and I got no. So that's what I'm going to give you back an answer, because I can only tell you what I hear. I cannot give you an embellished answer. When I very, very first started Summer's case, something strange came up for me. It was like a symbol. And it's like pedophiles use it to, so other pedophiles would know this is a home where it's either trafficking or predatorial behavior against a child. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read everybody. You know, the barrel in Summer Wells' case, strange coal came up in that, around that. Also, cave came up. But when I see somebody walking down the tracks, I see that there's a barrel, and it's off in the cut, like there's like stuff grown over it, and something is sticking out, and someone's just like, oh, I see something, and they go to hit the stick with it, and because it's so old that it just comes apart, and out comes, out comes remains in that sense. There is a Ralph that is a detective. Okay. And that's what, when Spirit just gives me names, I'm just going to repeat what I hear. So clearly there was a Don. Now we're on a Ralph. So there is a connection. There's a link here to something. And it has everything to do with Chris Proudfoot. So can you imagine how far mommy's pockets go? Is Ralph Hobson involved. I didn't say that. I do believe when spirit tells me something and I have to say it, there's something with that that needs to be looked at. I do believe Hunter saw things that would give him I do believe Hunter saw things that weren't appropriate. And I think there was some, I'm going to say some behavior towards Candace and him that weren't appropriate. So instead of, really just saying what happened between those two, I think that in itself, I think that's the reason why he's just like, I don't want to know anything. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. Oh, message hell for review. Here we go. And they are on. Oh, definitely calling in favor. And you know what? I don't think he's calling in favors. I think mommy's doing all the calling in the favors. So we're fixing some things here. Now, I was also told that the sister worked at the sheriff's department. I don't know if it's a secretary or what it is, but I also picked up that she was having either an affair with someone there or she was in an actual relationship with someone there. Do I know who that is? No. Don is the sheriff. And for these people to have so much at their disposal, that should be an automatic, okay, we're going to stop all, don't leave town. Don't do this. Don't do this. We need to make sure you're not involved in this. Everyone is a suspect in a child's case until else proven innocent. That's it. So if someone hasn't crossed over, my advice to anybody, and this is just a random answer, when you have a relationship that's on the outs with somebody and they pass away, the one thing that you can do for them is say, no matter what, I forgive you for any hurt you may caused me in my life. I still care for you. I want you to move on from your earthly ties. There is always going to be love in my heart for you, but you have to go to the next place. Then that's what you can do for them. Those simple words mean a lot because there's no regret, there's no anger, there's no fear, there's no sadness for people that cross over or want to cross over. It's, I need to tell you I'm sorry so I can cross over. If they feel they've hurt you or jaded you in life, they want to let you know they are sorry so they can get that load off their energy, because it keeps them, some people, it keeps them earthly bound because they don't want to cross over so they can get that off their chest, so to speak. I believe any money in the Proudfoot case should automatically go for any funeral expenses that may occur, anything for Sebastian specifically in general, reward, anything and all money that is collected for Sebastian should automatically go for Sebastian's purpose here, if that makes sense. Even if it's impossible to forgive them. See, there's the thing there, honey. When you say, I release you from your earthly ties, if it's impossible for you to forgive them, you can say, I forgive you for me. That doesn't mean you're forgiving them. You're forgiving yourself for hanging on to that anger and that hate that you carry and that guilt or resentment. Because when you keep that in you, you're keeping that earthly connection to them because they want to fix it. So you're actually causing a magnetic effect, a mirrored effect. So I have forgiven a lot to move on from situations, and you don't have to talk to that person. You didn't have to try to go fix anything with them. You forgive them for yourself, and that's it. And that's all you have to do. You release your earthly ties to them, your desires to have revenge, or your desires to feel some type of way against them. Nobody that actually cares for you is not going. If someone hurts you, they're going to say sorry if they care about you. And when they can't say sorry to you, there's a tie to you that's either guilt or shame, and they can't bring themselves to do that. So when they don't do that, that carries over in the afterlife, and that's when they really, oh, epiphany happens. I want to fix it. When will he be found? So more or less unfinished, but it keeps them. Some yes, some no. It's like I said, it's a big. My dad, it kept my dad here 5 extra years after he passed. There's a lot of things that we didn't say to each other, or he didn't say to his kids, and it was a very. I was the closest to him, and it was very. For me, I always, I was scared to say how I really felt to him, but he knew after. You're welcome. Forgiveness is the key to everything. Love opens all doors to everything, spiritually, physically, and mentally. People think ghosts are spirits. First of all, that's where you have that conception completely wrong. Spirits are people that have crossed over. Ghosts are earthly ties. So there's two different, just like there are energies that have done so much horrible things in life, like a serial killer. I'll go back to that. Those usually are bound here. So those are the energies that will be stuck in a place. And you'll pick up on that when you go to a place, like say you go to a haunted house or things of that nature. Usually it's the energies that are bound here. Those are the bad energies that you'll pick up on in your aura. You'll feel sick. You'll get a headache. You'll walk into energetic unhealthiness, so to speak. Sebastian is, I don't want to speculate. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to say that so no one can say, you shouldn't say he's gone. I'm going to say speculation, and we all know what I'm referring to here. Sebastian is no longer with us. I'm speculating. That's your opinion, honey. I don't hold any grudges to your opinion. Each and every one can have your own opinion. That's okay. I pick up on personally he's not with us anymore. So you have your own thoughts. You have your own thought process. So when someone kills themselves, right? Some people will stay behind until they figure out what went wrong. Or some are so mentally... God does... I know that people will say, well, they're stuck in limbo. They're stuck in limbo. God does not create a sense of damnation for people in that manner. Some mostly have choices. Some mostly just go right to the other side. So it's a big lower step and a higher step and a lower step. It's all about choices. It's all about when someone takes their life in the manner, they're already suffering in life. God is not going to have them suffer after that. God does not want their children to suffer. That's it. But people that believe in God in that manner, they are taught in the Bible, if it's different, you hate it. If you've done something wrong, you're bound to go to hell. let's do a little biblical story here. No one that God affiliated himself with was a saint. They all were sinners. And a sinner comes to the table, they've made mistakes, they've healed, they've learned a higher self-awareness. That's the point. What is wrong with me? My 58-year-old daughter passed away November 10th because she died of... Oh, darn, that went up fast. Sorry. Listen, I always tell people they can pop on here all they want. Do you see me huffing and puffing and crying about it? I think they're funny. They're lame. They're lowlifes. You hurt a little child. And what's even more worse is spirit will come and they will literally tell me anything that I need to know about you. Once I cold read your asses, I'm going to put all your business out there. People are going to know how much of lowlives you are. You can't faze me. You can't hurt me. Do you see me upset? Keep it coming. I don't care. I know you just better realize when spirit comes to you, just know what you're up against. They're not just desperate for attention. They don't want their personal business coming out. How they abuse Sebastian. Like, specifically, how do you take your son's glasses off to torment him knowing he couldn't see that great? Please do. Tell me. They deserve each other. Energy matches energy. Remember that. Energy matches energy. So Chris Proudfoot, being the scum lowlife he is, I want you to remember, she attracted that into her life. So energy matches energy. You mirror what you are. There's mirrored effects. When you attract someone into your life, you're manifesting who you want in your life by your own attraction, by your own likes. So you're mirroring your person that you're with. So just remember, he might be the way he is, but ask yourself how he came into her life in that manner. Energy matches energy. Yep, they are the same in all that they do. The best crystal for use for protection. I would say black tourmaline or tiger's eye. You can also use amethyst. It helps with psychic attacks. It helps with grounding your energy, things of that nature. I'm not aware of the private detective that he hired. Someone said the name that I came up with is his PI, I think. No, Sebastian didn't leave on his own will. Sebastian's mom has a maroon van. Oh, okay. Shannon, is it true that we all write our own review charts before we even get here. I do believe we have in readings that I've done for people, because I do my own business here at my own hometown. I have a business to where I do private readings and such. I've seen energies that have passed on and they've actually crossed back over into the same family. I do believe you have a choice in that manner. My grandson being one of them. I had spoke about it before. I don't want to get too much into it, but I do believe you have the choice to reincarnate back into your own family. To look at themselves in the mirror, that means they would have to have humanity in themselves, humility. They clearly had none. Look at Chris Proudfoot. He was abused as a kid. He doesn't have any humanity or humility. He hates women. He degrades women that have children. Think about that. He didn't want to be with a woman that how many women was he with that he completely degraded and destroyed, and along with their children. I do believe so. I do believe soul contracts are real, yes. I do believe that, yes. I'm getting the name Sadie. If Sadie comes up to anybody, please do let me know. Proudfoot is a native. He's a disgrace because Native Americans are very, very in depth with their kin. That's even if he is native. I believe it was told to Jero. I know Sebastian talked about he wanted to be friends with Faith. I think I said, someone on here said Faith is the daughter, I believe. And he just looked at Sebastian with such disgust. He didn't want him around that little girl. I don't even know how, if she's a little girl, if she's older, I don't know. Witchy Mama, my daughter's BFF was Sadie. Okay. Faith is stepsister, younger. Okay. They're such vile people. They're vile, vile people. Oh, Chris Proudfoot hates Native American people. Well, I mean, he probably hates himself too. That's why he beats on women, he beats on little children. You have to have a certain amount of hate and disgust in your body. There's something about himself that he hates, so he has to project it outwards. I like to say he's compensating for what he doesn't have. So the name Sadie was definitely a piggyback. I call it piggybacking. Same meaning for a tremendous amount of people. I believe so too. I don't know how she slept in the same bed as him. It's disgusting. The vibe I got from him is like completely vile. And he's a compulsive liar. Everything he says is a lie that comes out of his mouth. I believe so, yes, Tammy Penter. I do believe his mother is involved. Yeah. I do believe he looks as women as being weak and as if they couldn't make it on their own in life. And it's like he's such a narcissist because he tries to be somebody at work for them and then comes home and he's not the man that he reflects himself to be in the actual. What is Sadie's message? Okay, here's a question. Is someone opening a business or have they just opened a business? I'm not too sure what the reference of business is. It's good to have you here. You know what's gross about it all is, can you imagine the things that she has gotten him out of? It's sad when your son has grown up and you're still covering his tracks because you don't want your family name. I want you to think about that, Chris Proudfoot, if you're on here, okay? Your mother only covers your tracks for you because she's disgusted by you. She's ashamed of you. So she would have to cover for you because she doesn't want her name ruined. Okay, because I was waiting for that to come up, honey. You were talking about it today, Little Miss Press. Because they were talking about a business, growing a business, and that you would do good from it. Because I was showing a stack of money, and it was like when you see a stack of money and you bend it, and it just goes up and up and up. Mm-hmm. I think there was going to be a big custody battle coming up, and she would have to exempt herself from child support or whatever it is that they do. I do believe something is going to come up of it, because when I see Katie Proudfoot being let out in handcuffs, the feeling that I got from that and that emotion that I got, it was the jig is up. I'm found out. Who is it going to be? Is Sumner? What I should do is look into the energy of Sumner County sheriffs there, more or less, to kind of like read who's corrupt, who's doing what. When I worked the Tyler North case, I worked it. Gosh, you guys probably aren't aware of who Tyler North is on here. If you do, you've been a while. You've been with me a while. I worked Tyler North's case, and his ex-wife, needless to say, was with a deputy sheriff having an affair, or they got together and they planned his murder, so they murdered him. And he had help covering up from the sheriff's department, and I had stated that in my video, that the more I get from the energy that I'm reading from Tyler North, the more connections I'm getting to the sheriff's department. The sheriff, not even 3 days later, they were both arrested. I do believe it's because the information that I kept getting, they didn't want all that information, other information getting out of the shadiness, of the bad connections to this person, to that person. Because once it's looked into, the stories are going to keep popping up. There's no way I could know that. It's a sheriff's department. How am I going to know what they're working on? They don't tell you. Definitely paid off, for sure. Who will break the case, the PI or the LE? Who will break Sebastian's case wide open? Is it going to be the sheriff's department? Or is it going to be Seth's PI? What do you mean change? I'm being told to change, whatever that means. I don't know if I'm being told to change the subject or... Katie was taking business classes. Who is going to solve Sebastian Rogers' case? I'm hearing sheriff. I bet Nancy Grace is still doing it. I hope Nancy Grace summons them all to get their behinds on that show, to get back and say, hey, where's the Poly? Did you pass it? Some people are saying he did. Some people are saying he passed it. Some people said he didn't even take it. But, you know, as much of a big mouth as he is, and he's on everybody's lives and doing whatever, did you go on TV and say that you took one? I'm confused. Where is Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot as we speak? I'm being told hiding. I mean, I see him sitting, almost like in front, to me it's like a couch, and he's sitting in front of a coffee table. But, oh, okay. Back to Sumner. To me, it's like a spacious place. To me, it doesn't look like a crammed camper or anything like that. No. Oh, definitely peeping the chats. He's just figured out he can't bother me here. He can get his little trolls to pop on here. Can't phase me at all. Can't phase any of us. I'm not some little schoolgirl that's going to get hurt by my feeling. My feelings are going to get hurt, and I'm just going to shut the live down. You can't intimidate me like that. LOL, you have no clue where I am. Pathetic. Yeah, they're hiding like the cowards they are. That's all they are. They're cowards. Yeah, Mr. Big Bad Chris bullying a 15-year-old autistic kid. Look at you. Look at you now. Hiding behind a screen. Since you're on here, Chris, why don't you say something positive about Sebastian? Why don't you say something about Seth Rogers on here? Thought so. You're just mad because Seth will be the man you can never be. He can't say anything positive about Sebastian. He never cared about Sebastian. He's just on here trying to stop me talking whatever I'm doing. He just looks like a fool. Sadly. Oh, no. You can't expect him to talk like he's, innocent. It comes your guilt leaks out in your language. That's what you don't realize. Definitely a poor excuse for a man. Can't even call himself a man. That's the thing. Oh, I'm still working on that, Tammy. Don't worry about that. Let your mom know I said hi. You're welcome. He's hiding behind a phone or whatever it is that he's on. Oh, definitely. He's definitely lurking all over everyone. Bye-bye. He'll go make another fake. You know how much time it takes him to just go make a whole nother account? It's sad. You're putting that much effort into making fake accounts so you can comment under my live. Katie, you too. You're a sad piece of garbage. Redacted for a review. Oh, darn. You hurt my feelings. Stop it. Katie was having an affair with a neighbor. I don't know. I didn't get that yet. I'm definitely going to cold read both of them. Whatever their little secrets are, it'll all come out in that. Because when I started working with Sebastian, I solely did Sebastian's energy, and it poofed into those two doing what they did to him. Anything behind them, I have to look into, energetically wise. So be ready, guys. I'm not sure what Chris Proudfoot's stepsister has to do with anything. Oh, abuse. I'm not sure if that's saying he abused his stepsister. Oh, there's another one. Let me view your message. We put the effort into it. Katie had several abortions while married to Seth. I think so, yeah. Oh, I must have missed it. I'm sorry. I believe it says Harley Girl. Can you repeat what you were saying, dear? Is that about what I just stated here? Yes, I heard that too. So let's see how yeah, exactly. Let's see how funny it is when they're in prison. It always comes up, my darlings. Oh my God, Tammy, I love that. Tammy, you definitely got it right. Yes, he SA'd her and cousin when younger. Mom, oh, so that's okay. So he did do something to her then. Oh, and a cousin. So there's two people. Oh, wow. Says a lot about him, doesn't it? When I asked about that question, I heard sheriff. Does it mean the Sumner County Sheriff? No. Exactly. Tammy, well said. Create safe space. Oh, okay. I'm being told by Spirit that we need to create a safe space for Sebastian. And I think that's why he hasn't popped on here tonight, because he knows low life is on the other end. You are safe though, honey. You don't have to worry about that at all. He can't hurt you anymore. Grim. Let's talk about grim details. I'm not gonna say that in here. There's something that I was just told that I can't say on here because I just feel like that'd be too triggering. In the sense of did CPN keep me ship with the visual protection? Tell us where to find you. And if Chris Proudfoot thinks he's gonna pop on here and bully Sebastian even in the afterlife, do you think that do you think I need these lives in order to work with Sebastian, and think you're going to control the narrative still? Not one bit. Because when I get off this live, I'm going to pull an all-nighter just for Sebastian. I'm sure the FBI is going to look into them popping on here. That's how stupid you are. They're going to ask you why you're on people's YouTube channels looking into things. You moron. I just don't think you're not that bright. Thank you, dear. I work for the CIA. It's okay. Hopefully he's getting popcorn at least. Sebastian knows he is free, safe, and clear to be here. Nothing that moron can say can bother him or even force him. You know what kills me is he said on my live, you don't know where I'm hiding. You don't know where I'm at. Not that he didn't hurt Sebastian. Not that Katie didn't hurt Sebastian. That was his response. Pretty twisted, huh? Sure, they're scared. Why do you think they're locked away in some camper? What are they scared from? As soon as the news hits, they're going to take off somewhere? I'm sure. If he saw the green bridge. I sure will. Oh, they're carrying on about their life as if Sebastian never existed. Oh, they're scared. Can you imagine what they're waiting to come out? They think they have the upper hand now. That's the sad part. And still, Chris Proudfoot is popping on. But yet, Katie Proudfoot has yet to make herself known, and in her, it's really sad. Oh boy, they're going up fast. Very much so. Oh, another redacted message. Mommy can't help him forever. Badge. But the badges, it'll all come out. Somebody's going to get too close to something. If Seth has PIs, they're going to do their damnedest to get what they got to do. We're going to do what we have to do. This is Sebastian's army, and that's the one thing you don't realize. You picked the wrong child to bully, to hurt, to degrade, because we don't have to be his family, but we are mothers, we are fathers. What person goes on lives and stalks people and any comments, reading anybody's comments, and it just, you make me laugh. It's the honest truth. You're pathetic in the highest. I can't, I have no words for you. You're just, wow. It doesn't get any worse than that. It really doesn't. You make me actually laugh at you. You just don't realize how dumb you are. Because when and if this does get to the FBI, I am not redacting anything for you. I'm going to go back to my live, and I'm going to make sure every single comment that you put under there is shown. Just keep digging your own grave, you moron. I'm letting you be on my live as a courteous to you, so you can hear how vile you are, in hopes that you'll have some human morality and tell the police or poor Seth where his child is. Nothing goes unpunished. You think you're untouchable because mommy's got some cash. Everyone will make sure they're all in for Sebastian. Scene. Being told crime scene. Chris. Sebastian. Whole. Again. Cool. River. Maine is yet to come up again, so Maine means something. I'm not sure what yet, but I'll get to the bottom of that. So I've got crime scene, Chris, Sebastian, Hole, River, Maine. Dad. Mom. Chris. I'm being must be like another cruel thing. Sebastian couldn't have the things he wanted, these snacks, but Chris Proudfoot would eat them in front of him. It's like almost like a sub to show him control. I control what you can have. Sebastian, where did Chris take you? Where did as they put on you, Mr. Chris take you? Hole. Give. Hole. Give, Mom. Kill. I'm being shown his I don't think Sebastian had on what they said he had on. I'm seeing that he has shorts on because I see his white legs, and then I also see that his ankles, yet again, has something to do with one ankle versus the other. Seth. And also something about Seth made a joke. I don't know what that's referring to yet. Something about the windowsill. Look. Did he... I'm assuming that he ate snacks in his room and he hid it because he was always getting in trouble. Because of what I'm kind of like seeing is something about them underneath the mattress, but it has to do with food. Something also, windowsill, look, in Chris. And there's Paul again. I hear footsteps. This is where it's getting a distraction for me, because I don't think their driveway has gravel, and I hear footsteps on the gravel, like when you're walking and you hear that crunching noise under the feet. Shoes. Light. Chris. Go. So I'm gonna read off what I've been getting here. Windowsill, look, Chris, Paul, something about a light in shoes, Chris, go and borrow. About flash. case. Oh. It says Katie knew was going to happen. Well, there you have it. Katie knew it was going to happen. So her playing the victim and the whole fake thing that she does, she knew what was going to happen. This is how I know it was premeditated. Chris again. I would love to know what you did to this little boy. To me, he's a little boy. His energy is very young mentally. What you did for him to stay stating your name constantly. It's sad when a child spirit mentions your name that many times. Chris held my It's almost like he said the same exact thing. Something about Chris held my mom. Sad. I didn't want to, but had to. Chris. Also something about the dog. He liked the dog. Okay. Believe. Faith. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what this means. So I've got Chris held my mom. Sad. I didn't want to, but made me. Chris, dog. He loved the dog for sure, but also believe, faith. I'm not sure what that means or references to. Hold. Shoe. Chris. Barefoot. Mom. It's almost like I can hear them two whispering together. Like she's trying to tell him something really adamant and fast, and it's almost like we have to hurry up and do this. The words don't wait. The word hate. It's like he's giving me a psychic overlay of he's showing me the walking on the gravel with the feet. Did Katie Proudfoot take a lie detector? In the sense of what's the link is between everybody, I don't know what to believe on that. You pay somebody off with the deep enough pockets, you're going to get something, you know what I mean, that you're going to want out of the deal. It's almost like he's showing me a sense of things that were said as he could hear that. He's talking about don't wait to do it. Don't wait to do it. But it was like he was hearing that from them two, not arguing, but whispering, like out of fear, like hurry up and do this. We can't wait. Something about the shoes. Also, barefoot. He said they hate me. They hate me. I still know what you did. Katie. So Sebastian doesn't call his mom Katie. So this is another female calling Katie, talking about Katie. I don't think he did take a lie detector test, because as big of a mouth as he has and the narcissistic rage, I told you I took a lie detector test. And, you know, he would have to have that sense of, I told you. But even so, if he did, to me, I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Especially when you have your pockets being filled with money. Oh, dick. So what I'm getting here is Katie actually helped in the way of digging a hole or digging her own hole, so to speak, in symbolization. I have Katie Proudfoot, help hole, dig. So she's digging her own hole by staying with that moron, and it's gonna give way at some point. You could hide him all you want, because when I tell you what that guilt, see, what a mother feels and a father feels are two different emotional connections to a child. Not that a dad does not love their child, but you're not his dad. And Katie, it's gonna weigh down on you after so long, and it's gonna make you realize what you did and what you allowed to happen. It's gonna weigh down on you like a ton of bricks, and you're gonna slip up, and you're gonna dig your own hole, so to speak. By helping him, you've already dug your hole. So you might as well just confess to it already. Spirit does not forget. Not only will you have to face them, but you don't face them alone. Chris, Katie, and Don, you are all going to face your own shit. Excuse my language. When the stuff goes, when the shit hits the fan, you are all going to face your stuff. Everything is going to come down on you. And little old mommy dearest, you better hope she don't open her mouth if it comes down to it. Now, what kind of hole are we talking about here? Can you describe it to me? Because I'm not going to say it on here. I honestly, I'm fearful for Seth, because if he's this much of a tyrant, and, you know, see, we can say all this stuff about him, but I want you to understand, to him, that builds his ego, because he thinks he's this big mastermind. He thinks he's this Billy badass. He thinks he's this tough guy. You're gonna go to prison, and let's see how long you last in prison. Especially when the word gets out what you did to that boy. He likes the ego. He likes the drive of being called a monster. He likes to fuel that sense of, to him, that's what he thinks a man is. That's what he thinks a man is. Oh yeah. Sure. He definitely came into my chat. He's come into my chat several times. But I let him talk because he's digging his own hole. The truth will come out. Do I feel Seth could be in danger? I really hope he doesn't. I know he's got to do what he's got to do for him. He's got to do what he's got to do for his child, because that's the man he is. Oh my God, Grace, it's so ridiculous. But by calling him what we call him, we're actually feeding his we're just feeding his ego. So what we're going to do is call him, what we're not now, from now on, we're going to call him the nobody, because he is a nobody. And I don't usually say that word about people because it's a hurtful thing. But he's an actual true nobody. He's a cruel nobody. So from now on, people, when we reference him, he's just the nobody. Okay? Please do that for me. I do feel Seth should watch his back, especially with what they do behind people's back and how they're sneaky and, you know, this one's covering up this one's covering up that. Be careful, Seth, because there's not going to be a moment where they won't think, if they're going to go to prison, that they won't try to do something strange and make it look like an accident. Yep, a heartless nobody. I do believe nobody means a great deal to someone like him, because he looks at himself that way already. That's why he picks certain women he knows. He knows by looking at certain women, I know that I can just dominate her automatically. By the way women carry themselves, by the way they're soft-spoken, by the way they love their children. He likes to break that down because he's a nobody. Nobody. Mr. Tough Guy is nothing but a nobody. The one thing I can say, just a nobody. Tammy, I have to ask you something. I'm being told to talk about the uncle. Tammy, can you tell me about your uncle? Or, because I'm hearing your name, then I'm hearing the word uncle. Yes? Okay. I'm hearing loud and clear Tammy and then uncle. Also, south. I'm just waiting for Tammy's response. Well, I heard Tammy, dear, so there's another Tammy on here that stated yes. I'm not too sure what yet, but the word uncle and also like the direction of south. Tammy Penter, I'm gonna ask you about I'm not too sure what Tammy I'm referencing here, but I feel like it would be the Tammy with a Tammie. Hope I didn't scare anybody. She said yes. Oh, there she goes. My uncle passed away 2 years ago. I lived in Florida in okay. Also, I'm hearing the name Ralph again. That's just their way of letting you know they're here, honey. Ralph, unfold. Becky, I literally hope that we can help Sebastian in any way we can and Seth. No matter what, no matter the outcome, no matter who believes in what I do, the best thing that we all can do just to do for him is to not forget him, not put his name out there, picture anything and anything at all. Just keep doing it. It's gonna matter some way, somehow. Tammy, I didn't freak you out, honey, did I? So it's going so fast. Okay, maybe I could stop it. Hold on. These girls have had No, I don't believe she ingested drugs. Leanne Dotson, I was shown by Rose Blye, her aunt, who was also passed on. There was a transaction for her. She was sold. And because of the high flux in people looking for Summer, you know, some little girl to two people that were awful, nobody thought this was going to blow up the way it did, so they had to get rid of her. My uncle knows I am like you, but don't want to be. Oh, Tammy, that's why you were kind of quiet after that. Don't worry, I won't do anything to scare you. Well, that was just his hello to you. Because I think that's why he had to let me know your name, uncle, and he was down south. So he needed to put that energy with the energy with the energy. Absolutely. Keep Sebastian's. It comes naturally to us, intuitively to us. It doesn't have to be our child to love a child. He is out there missing. So is Summer Wells. We have to continue to give that sense of, if someone isn't going to do it, if they're not going to do it, as a community, we step and do it. Because if it was our child, we would expect people to help us, correct? And people who hurt their children don't like that idea. So that's why nobody is on here trying to see what we're up to talking about. Let me see. Afterlife confirmation is so amazing. Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful. Well, when I do the readings just for people to do readings where I'm not reading a suspect, where I'm not reading a missing persons case, we get really in depth with people that come over to give healing messages. This is just a fluke tonight because I'm just so in depth with trying to read messages, trying to get messages, trying to write messages. So, oh, you know, Summer's Army, I definitely, you got to realize it's just a nobody. They're a nobody. You give the nobodies a little sense of peace by allowing them on alive. I could just do this. Bam. Another nobody gone. um for Summer to make the exchange easier, they gave her some sort of pill so she wouldn't scream, because that was probably the only time where she wasn't at peace and laughing and happy, when they kept doing this to her. This wasn't a first time thing. At some point when they sold her, they didn't bring her back. It's disgusting, it's sad, it's unfortunate, and this is why we need to continue to help keep her name out there. It's been how many years now? Where's the evidence? Where is the connections? Why aren't the parents in jail? This is another thing I mean. Another sad case under what district? Just another nobody, guys. Don't give them energy. I have been talking to my uncle about Sebastian. This is heavy on my heart, so that's why I have been feeling him. Thank you. He has been talking to me to use my gift for. Yes, continue to do so, honey. Um, the one thing, um, the one thing I stated is there's no territorial thing here. If this psychic says they get something, and that's every person that can say not all psychics are real, or every psychic or every medium gets information and receives information in their own sensory, in their own way, so they can describe it to you. Some of it's hard to explain to people. Some of it's hard to adjust to understanding how to put this with that. So I don't judge any other person that says they're a psychic, because they very well might be a psychic. I can't say. I can sense people who have gifts, absolutely. Penter. 1 second. I'm Tammy Penter. Are you on here, honey, still? I'm wondering if they're referring to Tammy Penter having a gift, because it came right after. Um. Tinkerbell, I keep hearing people walking on gravel. That's the one thing I've noticed with that specifically. Um, Very well could be. I do not think that Chris Proudfoot's going to get